Hello, world and family. I am Richard.
And I am Gary.
And together we rock
Pandora's box.
Woo! We
Woohoo!
love you back, family. And today we got a very special guest appearing with us today on Pandora's box. My best friend, woman extraordinaire, tapped into the elements, Miss JenniMay Walker.
Woohoo!
Hi guys! Hello, family!
Woo! So how are you doing, my friend Gary, my buddy?
I'm good, thank you. I still have Ascension symptoms. Can you believe it? I'm still feeling it. And sleep has not been good this week. It has not been good. I don't know about you guys.
I have had so many vivid dreams that are very, very strange. Really unbelievable. So my sleep has been broken up, and I'm definitely feeling this resonance, the Schumann, and a lot of like sleeping and sort of cocooning in my bed and like, trying to process all the energies right now. So but it feels really good too at the same time.
Yeah.
I believe that these Ascension symptoms have been going on for some time now.
Yeah.
Okay, what is sometime now? It's not just the last 3 weeks, Gary. It's been going on for a year, 2 years, but everything has been like greatly compacted, condensed, and maybe in the last 3 weeks, it's been really hard for a lot of people. I do feel though that we've gotten over the stump. Okay, there was we had to raise ourselves with these symptoms that were uncomfortable, but then it's like, pow, something happened and it's lessened. Now, what does lessened mean? Does it mean that it's all gone? No. But I can feel it. There's more of a calm, as if we passed a bridge.
Yeah.
You feel it too, buddy?
Yeah. I mean, I think the culmination of this was the 7-planet alignment.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
And since that stage, I was feeling it before at certain times with like the eclipses and all the bits and pieces going on. But that 7-planet alignment really gave me a kick in. And it is slowly, like you said, we've hit the peak of it and it's slowly going down now. But I mean, I still feels like at the top of my head, I've got nits. I've got like ants or spiders running around the top of my head. So it's just like, so if you see me itching, it's not because I've got nits.
You don't have fleas?
No fleas. No.
But I think that's normal, man, because we got to recalibrate.
That's right.
Recalibrate.
Yeah.
And, for some people, it's going to be a little harder or less hard, but everyone is wired differently for me. Okay. So that's why, no one's symptoms are any lesser important or more important. We're all wired differently. And how does that work? Well, maybe our off-world lineage, where we come from, our purpose for being here. I think we're all on a ticking time bomb of coming online. And that's what we'll do with different symptoms. Plus, ailments with the body. Is it of the mind? Is it of the body? And if you got something going more, as an example, with your stomach during these symptoms, well, I feel that it is clearing those issues. Okay.
Yes, I was just going to add that for not everybody, but a lot of people, there could be endings and beginnings. Yeah. So that for sure, that's what I've been feeling. I went through a big thing that has come to an end, and that's been huge, but it's part of the energy, the energies that are happening right now. So it's actually, I'm over the hump actually.
Yes,
so it feels like it was really hard 2 weeks ago, and but I had to go through it. I had to end this certain situation to sort of shed my old skin and come into the new me. And so it's perfectly aligned. you know.
And she did great. Yes. I'm
Thank
very
you,
proud
babe.
of her.
Oh, thank you.
The other thing is that we must remember to do, and that's to love ourselves and to look after ourselves
Absolutely.
and to give ourselves the time that we need as we see fit. It's not being selfish. It's about looking
Right.
after ourselves and valuing ourselves and our own health in this
Totally.
matter.
Yeah, and that's the times that we're in. So it's quite beautiful. Even though it's been a bit difficult, it's actually beautiful at, you know, for sure. Like as a whole, it's meant to be.
You're as a whole, you beauty queen.
Anyway, that I think that's enough babbling for
Yeah,
the
it
start
is.
because you know, I think that everyone's very interested in our part two. And I think we promised, didn't we not, on the part two, that we would start off with the Fae and fairies.
Mhm.
Now,
We did.
I have an interesting story about Fae, the fairies, that
Share to us.
I've not told many people in my life. So now I'm about to tell several thousand, which is really good.
We're honored.
Yeah.
Yay.
When I was a youngster, and this is one of my first real memories of a strong memory. You know, it's one of these that you just don't forget it. It's one of these big memories.
Yeah.
I was probably about 4 or 5 years old, and my nan was very, very connected. Let's put it that way. And she would always have fairy rings in her garden. There'd always be a round fairy ring. And by fairy rings, what I'm talking about is mushrooms in a perfect circle. So she would have 2 or 3 of these in separate places in her garden, and they would be quite big. I mean, 6 foot in diameter, and there would not be a single mushroom out of place that was not in a perfect circle, which is kind of interesting. But she took me to some local woods where we lived when I was a youngster, and I can remember in this woods that there was always an upturned tree stump. And as kids, we'd play and go past it. And that upturned tree stump was there for many, many years. I mean, up until I was probably 12 or 13 at least, still in that, it's called a dell. It's a little copse of woodlands, but it's only a small one. And she took me to this dell, this copse, and she took me off the path towards this tree stump. Now, in reality, the tree stump was probably only about 12 foot off the path, so not very far. But when we turned off the path, there wasn't a path particularly, but we turned off the path, and it was just like walking through a curtain, if you can imagine. And all of a sudden, there was this tree stump, but it wasn't 12 foot away, it was 20 or 30 paces away. And so that was quite okay. And as we walked up to this tree stump, I can remember seeing the tree stump, and on top of the tree stump were shiny stones. Now at the time I thought it was gravel because as a child you don't understand. Now I understand it was crystals and precious stones.
Wow.
So they were using some kind of crystals, all different colors, greens, blues, purples, but mostly clear white, you know. And again, I'm terrible with crystals, so anyone's, you know, JenniMay could tell me what they were properly.
No, you're not. I'm sure you're good with them.
No, I'm terrible.
He's fact, not really good with
I'm terrible, you know.
All right, we accept that then. Okay, go ahead.
And in fact, I think perhaps I need to get you on my channel to go through some crystals for me, so I can cover that at least in my channel at some point. So on top of this tree stump with the roots, you had this natural bowl full of crystals, and the tree stump, all the roots were perfectly rounded off really nicely. And out the side of this tree stump was this pipe. Now at the time, a pipe,
okay,
like you'd smoke. But at the time, my mum was a hairdresser in the 70s. And when they used to do perms and peroxide, they had this thing they used to shake up and it used to squirt out and it used to produce this like foamy material. And it looked like that to me because obviously my frame of reference to a young child was that looks like what my mum uses in hairdressing.
Oh, okay.
But actually what it really was a 17th century clay pipe stuck out the side of this tree stump. And the most amazing thing was that there was smoke coming out of the
Oh my God.
So I'm standing there, and my arm, I have flesh of the goose.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. Right when you said that.
but there's pipe was stuck out the side of this solid tree stump with smoke going up, and it was just like a chimney smoke. It wasn't a puff puff puff. It was a
Yeah.
continuous line of smoke coming up. And as you can imagine, as a kid, I got really excited, and I started getting, oh my god, it's fairies,
Yeah,
and
it's a fairy's house with a chimney.
yeah. And obviously, my nan knew far more about the Fae than I did. And something that I learned in later years is that the Fae, although they are beneficial and such like to us, they do not like to be disturbed. And
Yes.
and I'm not saying they have a particularly bad temper, but they're not to be messed with. They must be
Yeah.
respected at all times. Like any of these, when we're talking about the elementals, we actually have to give them the respect due because they are older, more wiser beings than
Yeah.
we are currently in our current sort of situation. So obviously, I was a kid going yeah, and she got very worried very quickly, and dragged me off back onto the path. So I'm getting dragged back watching this, going on because she didn't want. And the excuse she gave me said, well, they've been up all night and they're cooking their breakfast, which is where the smoke's coming from, and we don't want to disturb them
I
while
love
they're
it.
eating their breakfast. And so we then went back onto the path. And when I looked back, the tree stump was just a tree stump and not what I'd just seen.
Right.
Isn't that
Wow,
amazing?
that
So,
is.
like crossing a portal, you actually did. You went into their element. Like in the tarot cards, it would have been like the three of wands almost, right? Like,
Yeah.
or the four of wands,
The four of
even better.
wands,
The four of
going from
wands.
one reality to another,
Yeah.
and
So
something that crossed my mind, and I want to ask you two about this because I think you two are more intuitive in this kind of thing than me, is do
yeah.
you feel as the human vibrational resonance goes up and Gaia's changing and upgrading, that we're now starting to see more elementals, and we will see more because we're now more in line with the vibrational frequency? So we were here and they were there, and now we're coming up to join them. Do you feel this?
I do think it is a very much a this.
Me
Did
too.
you want to go first?
No, I'll just add to that I do agree with that. I really feel that so much so, but at the same time, fairies, do they not reside in the fourth dimension, the Fae element?
Again, I don't know if that
Higher.
resonates with you. That's fine.
They reside in like different dimensions. That's what I feel. Okay, but for me, like it's funny that you're telling this story because as a kid, I was very much attracted to nature. I love Nate, like as all kids do. But I started to see like fairy element energy in little like parts of nature, like little, like a little moss that, like little, like, and I knew these were like fairy homes and stuff like that, and for sure, as I've gotten older, I really believe that these little elementals live in these kind of places. But I do believe as the veil is getting thinner, we're able to sort of connect with these energies even more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense to me.
Because obviously, last week we were talking about mermaids and Mothmen and stuff like that, and Sasquatch.
Yes, I heard.
And I think that we're going to start seeing more and more interactions with these,
Yeah.
or such like, because the vibrational resonance of us as we come up will meet them. And
100%.
yeah. And do you feel this as well? Because I do, that they can sense our intentions way better than we can. They're intuitives, aren't they? Or
Oh, they're
empaths,
so
totally.
very sensitive.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
absolutely. So, but I love the story that you told because, well, your nan said that oh, they were worried because like you saw them and then they were trying to like eat breakfast, and so you bothered them, and that makes a lot of sense. They're like that. They're very sensitive, and they're also mischievous. Like,
Yes, there is
that.
a big mischievous side
for
to
sure.
them.
So you were able to see that, and then they just like retracted back. They're like, no, you saw nothing.
I never saw an actual fairy. And
No, I'm
not,
saying
and I'm
the
not,
smoke, but you saw the smoke.
I saw the smoke and I saw the home, and around the tree stump itself, around that was like perfectly manicured. It was clean. It was
right?
it was tidy. It was orderly. Do you know what I mean? And it just felt it was something important, you know. But I can't say that I saw, and I would not fib to say that I saw anything apart from that. But the fact that I saw that, and it's a burnt in memory into my mind, is quite a special thing.
Yes,
it's beautiful. Like for me, like I've sensed them, right? I've seen the homes, and last year I went on this crazy hike in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and it was an epic hike, but I literally saw so many fairy homes. Like I knew, and you could feel them as I was hiking through. You could feel, it's like they're almost watching you, and they're like, you know, they're kind of like, respect us. That's the message from the fairies, really. They want you to respect nature.
Respect,
you know, and even like stepping on certain area, like, you know, like I didn't even want to step in certain places. Like I want to stay on the path and not like, because you could sense that these are their homes. These are special little, beautiful little, incredible homes with moss and like mushrooms and all this incredible, you know. And what you're saying, that you saw the whole mushroom thing, yes, absolutely. I feel as though that was a fairy home.
Well, don't they have a great intelligence of mushrooms? It's like they're all connected, like to all the roots of within Gaya.
Yeah,
and it's been recorded, right? So I don't know what you call it for me, but some people have the electromagnetic system to hook into a mushroom, and then they play music.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that done. I've seen that done.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's actual singing. So yes, Gary, I do believe that there's a lot about the fairies that what I feel. I believe they come actually higher than the fourth density. I feel they're more seventh density. I'm not a professional in fairies, but that's where I feel they reside, right? Like around the seventh density. That's what I'm getting right now. And with this, why is there like such a return of the elementals? Yes, I do believe that Gaya has come out of her slumber. What is her slumber? Well, she was kind of trapped for a long time, right? We had a different energy reigning over humanity and planet ship Gaya. Now it's like the rise of the phoenix. It's the golden era. She is like, it's spring. The bear has come out of her cavern, and she is a mama bear, and she does love her children. The elementals are her children as well. Now, I do believe also, inner belief, that they were trapped, the elementals, for some time. How does that look like? Like, I'm still just Richard walking around in like this avatar, but I do have a connection. I did a video actually with you last summer in my Trans Am, where it seemed that the elementals, the fairies, had been trapped somehow.
Especially in one place, it was called Les Fées de Roche.
Les Fées de Roche.
Les Fées de Roche it's a place in France, yes. And there was a bunch of healer people. I think I met one of them. They went there and they actually did a ceremony to unlock, you know, and they did say that the fairies themselves, apparently they said that they were trapped there for hundreds and hundreds of years because of, maybe you could do a reading on that, something that happened, and they were trapped there and they were released. And it's like the perfect timing, right? As we're moving into this energy. And so they've been, I know that the people, the fairies that were trapped there have been released. So that was cool. I met this lady that went there. I met her last summer, and she was one of the healer ladies that went there and untrapped these fairies.
Yes.
Superb.
And I was just like, because she saw me, and like I was working in a studio doing art in back of this place where I met her, and we just zeroed into each other. And she's like, oh, I see your tattoo. You know, my tattoo is a fairy.
Yeah.
And she was like, why do you have a fairy tattoo? And I'm just like, well, I love fairies. I'm very connected to that realm. And she's like, well, I want to tell you something. I was just in France at an area called Les Fées de Roche, and I did a ceremony with a bunch of women, and we untrapped and the lady made me cry. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. I told her, I was like, you got to come back to my studio and see my art. And so I showed her my art, and we were just like, it was amazing. But I fully believe that a lot of these fairies have been like released. Are you okay?
Yes.
Oh, that yum yum bubble gum.
Yeah, he didn't say yum yum bubble gum. That's the problem, you see.
He's coughing on the truth.
So yes, I do believe this. Thank you for your story, my beauty.
Yes, you're welcome.
But yes, so there is Gaya that is back online.
Yes,
and
back online.
As we, her children, are raising our frequency, that would permit us to like get closer to their frequency. At a lower frequency, they can see us. We cannot see them.
I agree.
But as we raise, then we can start seeing them. Hence the return of the elements.
Like Gary was saying, exactly. It's exactly true. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the story I've told you, there's a reason why I was able to probably go there and see what I saw, because I was a young child.
Mm-hmm.
And of course.
It was the age of me being able to go through. As an old adult now, I wouldn't be able to do it possibly.
Well, you could.
Yeah, but
you will be able to.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, as an adult, when you've got all these layers of pre-programming and I want to say mind control, but it kind of is.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the secret to this is to keep the inner child always alive and up front, right? So be big-eyed, Bambi wide-eyed to the simplest of things. It's a squirrel. Oh my God, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And keeping that alive that's where you're able to tap into the elementals, because you are right, conditioning. So, you know, you're young, you see, you feel, oh, it's in your imagination. See, my parents did that to me as a child, but I refused to listen. I was such a rebel at everything.
God bless our parents, but
yes,
it's just they were conditioned.
And I wouldn't listen. So no. I know what I saw. So I just stopped telling my parents what it was that I would see. Right? As a child, I was 8 years old. And we had a big mansion. We had a spiral staircase. Saturday morning, I wake up and I go in my staircase, you know, with my pajamas. And at the floor, we had heat ducts. So it's like, you know, with the lines and the heat comes out. And I saw two fairies. And what they were doing is they were chasing each other through the heat lines of the ducts. And they looked almost like when you put, because I know, Faye, you've done this as children. In your bath, you play with a rag, a cloth, and play in the water. Oh, look, I'm a mermaid. That's how they felt. They moved it that way. And I saw the little hands, and they were very amusing. And I sat there for
very funny,
15, 20 minutes, I want to say. And they were just so spectacular. So that was my encounter at that young age with the fairies. And throughout my life, I've seen a lot. Yes, there was a time where, you know, you do get like a bit like capped.
Yeah.
Right? For me, it was like, you know, I grew up and I went really rebellious and drugs, rock and roll and all that. So, you know, I shut down on that. But then I came back a lot online, and they are very real. I feel their presence, and they are excited. They are fruitful. They want to show us, give us, teach us. They are hungry. I feel that suppression of what happened, wherever it happened, where they were locked. I'm getting a vision in your area,
England, UK.
Yes, those rocks.
Oh, Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. I'm getting a vision of Stonehenge. So I don't know if that has sense with fairy Stonehenge. I don't feel that Stonehenge is probably very good.
I think Stonehenge has been messed with many
times. Corrupted.
A lot of bad shit has happened. Yeah.
Because Stonehenge is only one small part of what Stonehenge actually is. And Stonehenge is at the top of a big long walkway, and there's another set of stones further down. And so it's actually a really big area. But now all you see is the Stonehenge. It's only one small little area that they put everybody into. And I agree with you guys. I think it's been changed, and it's not the same it used to be. Because Stonehenge, I think, is on some very powerful ley lines. And I think the ley lines have more to do with this than we understand.
Yeah.
With the Fae and the elementals movement around, as well as now, perhaps the Fae. This is a question for your cards, Richard. Do the Fae or the elementals use, or did they used to use, the ley lines as their roads to travel around Gaya as such? And were those ley lines shut down to prevent the traveling of them?
Great question. All right, so it looks like a yes. So far, I got the 4 of Swords that jumped out, which means secrets unbeknownst to most, right here, okay? And Swords is an air element, so it is of the mind. Information could be very stressful. Then I get the 9 of Wands, which is something grueling, almost coming to an end. And then we do have the King of Wands. So that would be your yes to this. It came to an ending. I got the 9 of Wands. This is a sword, but that means that something has come to a surrender in regards to your ley lines, Gary. We've tamed the beast by the mouth. We're crossing portals once again, as the fairies do with the 4 of Wands.
Wow.
It's been a long time in the making with the Knight of Pentacles. He's a master plan. He doesn't come back, new from in back of the bush yesterday, last week. It's like he's been calculating for a very long time its return. Secrets of the universe with the High Priestess. In regards to the devil system, that chained them up. So the answer is a yes.
Yeah, very interesting. Very, because
the ley lines.
Because I think it's very important. And the story you told me about the lady you met who had released them, I think was probably working as much on the ley lines as anything. And I have come across people in the UK that are currently and have been going around opening up the ley lines. And the energy of the ley lines is getting bigger and bigger and wider currently.
Right.
And that can only be a good thing. And I think that is connected to all of what we're saying.
Oh, absolutely. I feel that too, actually.
Well, in what you're saying is that we are ready, waiting for our ships to come in order to go to a new dimension, a new reality. There was, again, the surrender with the 10 of Swords. And you speak of the truth with the Knight of Swords, the Alpha.
Wonderful.
Ooh. Yeah.
Isn't it lovely when the cards back up what you're saying? It's
I know, right?
And these cards, they flip out, right? I'm just shuffling and they
fly out.
They just fly out, right? So
totally.
It's awesome when they do that. Isn't it?
You just read, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's awesome.
But I feel that, just to conclude this, the fairies, they want us to reconnect with nature. And as we see that a lot of people are awakening in this grand awakening, people are very aware of going out and connecting with nature and having more appreciation and taking the time to look at the details and look at, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
So, yeah.
So what JenniMay just said is very accurate, because here with the Two of Wands, we're holding
their
the
message.
world, Gaya, in our hands in the 11th portal, because we've been on a Debbie Downer, disconnected from nature and the sun, the happiest. So what you just said is absolutely accurate. Oh, look.
Superb.
I'm gone. I'm in a portal.
Now, Jenny, somebody,
Yes.
a little person told me, a very little person,
I'm not
told
very
me
little.
that you you're able to kind of channel the fairy energy, and you've done art based on that. Now,
I have.
I wonder, have you got any just happens to be hanging around and being there?
Yes, I have. Well, now that I moved my studio up to Richard has like a beautiful room up there, and like, so I have been painting here, but I'll show you some of the stuff. And yes, I do, and they're all different energies. And one thing I wanted to ask you though, like, I think that some fairy people could be hybrids, like light beings, hybrids, and I think there's a connection to the orbs there too. But you can ask that, like, if
well, first show.
Okay.
So I'll give you the space so you have full screen.
Okay, well, so this is one girl that came through that is, she's connected to the ocean too. So I believe that
Wow,
there is Faye that are very much connected to the, and as you could see, I have here orbs.
yes, you do. That's amazing.
And she has flowers on her, and she also has like some ocean creature here, so, which is,
Do you know what the energy feels like to me?
what, Gary?
It feels like she's just waking up.
She is just waking. You're so right. I think that's why she came through.
And that's why she's got part of the nature on her and only one eye, which is shining brightly, because she's still yet to fully come through into her power.
Oh my God, I love that take on it. And then she has this nature here. These are well, they're meant to be, what I think, it's open to interpretation, but these are roots.
Yeah, from trees.
And then we have this tree.
But look at this also. There's a face here in the roots. Like, this could be like an eye, a nose, a chin.
There is.
Yes, you're right. Like, and I think this is a being that's looking, it's like, this being here is looking at this being. So she's like.
The transition of, isn't it?
Like watching her awaken.
Yes.
She's got orbs on her forehead, on top of her pineal gland activation.
I know.
That's really beautiful. That's got lovely colors. I like that a lot.
Gary? Okay, so then we have this one is, I sort of see her like, this girl has been through a lot, but she's kind of, I started this a long time ago, and then she's sort of reawakened also. I feel as though she's a reawakening one too, and coming into her own power. So that's what I see, because she didn't have wings before, and then she grew wings, but she was drowning, and now she's flying.
But lift, show her skirts.
Yes.
Like the colors, like it's almost like peacock, like beauty.
Yes. That does strike me as peacock energy as soon as I saw that. It's actually a bird energy, isn't it? It's like almost the freedom of the bird.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so again, open to interpretation, but...
All right, next.
Okay, next. So I do have prints of these, but anyways, okay, so this one was... Well, this one
loved by Jenny would love that one.
I love you guys to give your interpretation. I love that.
It's an angel.
Yeah, she's like an angel. being.
It looked like the Appalach.
I think that she's a protector of like nature and the mountains. And I'm, by the way, I used to live in Banff, Alberta, and I'm very connected to mountains. I'm a snowboarder, and so I look at this being as like this protector in that realm.
And you can see the orbs at the bottom again, can't you? There's orbs yet again.
Oh yes, we have a bunch of orbs here. Yeah, orb energy.
And I love this one. So I'm gonna help her so it goes faster.
Oh, that's beautiful.
How beautiful. Do you want to talk about this one?
Okay, this one is my mother who passed away 3 years ago, and she became this sort of fairy because my mom was always connected to fairies too. And
there's wisdom, there's a lot of emotion, there's the butterflies here, fairies.
When she passed, this is what came through. This is her in a different realm right now, and she has this kind of, it's a younger version of her, and that's her ghostly face coming through, but she is in the fairy realm somehow.
That's a warm face still, though, isn't it? You can feel the warmth of the emotion coming through on that face, the happiness that she created and did what she needed to do while she was here. That's beautiful.
That's Mom. Yes, and my mom was a sound healer. She was a musician. She was a piano player.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
So that's what's very fun with JenniMay's art is that she's got a very specific way of like drawing noses and all that, but it has that fairy like off-world feel, almost like, okay, I'm not comparing it to Dr. Seuss, but he had a very specific way of drawing his characters.
Because a lot of these characters,
that's what you have.
They have humor, right? The fairy realm, they have so much humor. They are so funny. So, like, there's some Dr. Seuss-ish. I take that as a compliment.
I love it.
It's a very, very distinctive style, and you can see that you've painted all of those. So the style is very similar, but they're also very different in feel and energy. Very nice.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing them with us.
Thank you. Thank you for interpreting them. I love that.
We love you.
I love you. I'm so happy to be on Pandora's box.
Yay!
Now, something that JenniMay said, and we brushed on it briefly, and we did do a card reading, was, and I still can't get over that Jenny spoke about opening up the portals or opening up the energy grid, right?
Right. Oh my God.
Now,
totally.
we have this is kind of a tangent, but it's not really a tangent, okay? And so in the UK, we obviously have Stonehenge, which you took us to, yeah?
Yes, but you also have the Fairy Kingdom.
We do. Well, I think most of those were destroyed.
Okay,
I think, or they are certainly not what they used to be, but they're coming back, obviously, in time.
Exactly.
But something that and again, this is something that we were looking at probably 6 or 8 months ago, and we actually brought a book. My partner brought a book on it, and in Norfolk we have an awful lot of old trails, or ways as they're called. So one of them is called Weaver's Way. Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And these are old, really, really old roadways, we're told, that
like maps,
but it's a roadway and they kind of interlink, but they're not actually roadways at all. They're actually energy grids, and the roadways were on the energy grids, and they go all the way through the United Kingdom up to Scotland.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
They all interlink, and they interlink into Europe, and I think they probably interlink into America as well, everywhere, because it's a grid, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, something that's just struck me is going back into history, because I am a bit of a history buff.
Love it. Yes.
Is the Rosalind Chapel in Scotland. Because also, I know this is a tangent, but you know what I'm like. It just struck me about Trump and his Scottish connections, and the true last king of England or the United Kingdom was, I believe, Scottish.
Okay, let's do a reading.
Whoa. Before we go on this, Gary, this is awesome. I got a beautiful gift.
Yes.
From a sister, a family sister. And yes, it's in front of me because I always keep it in front of me, but she sent me this beautiful silver rectangular of a dragon because I love dragons.
Very nice.
And now that you bring this up, this was one of her requests. Okay. And this is not planned. I got it this week, like 2 days ago, Fanny. But I do have a card here. And I know it looks planned. It is not planned. I did not even know you were going to go there. The card, Zora, has been in, as in, like, all my gifts are in front of me. I mean, like, they're all in front of me. Like, no kidding. All my gifts, I keep it in front of me. But this, may I? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please do.
May I? Because this is so crazy to me that you bring this up.
It's just, for me personally, the energy grid seems to have a really, really profound. The Rosalind Chapel is quite important, really, really important, and I can't explain why. But it's part of the energy grid of Gaya. And there's a reason why the Rosalind Chapel's on there. And so the fact that you've had a request is really spooky. So please read it out because we'd love to hear it.
Okay. Because I want to, because I can't believe you're bringing this up. Hold on. Okay, this is more personal. Yes. If you could read on Donald Trump, the actual one, is he the true king of Scotland? And is Scotland the actual Holy Land with the Middle East being a diversion inversion?
You're not going to believe this.
Buddy, how do...
No.
We got connected, like...
Flesh of the goose. Get this right. In England, we have a song that's very synonymous with us playing rugby called Jerusalem. And the song Jerusalem states that United Kingdom is Jerusalem.
What?
We have a song called Jerusalem. Oh my God, my arms are...
Yeah, they can think this is...
And the song, it's a very old song, and it states very clearly that England or the United Kingdom is Jerusalem.
Wow.
Oh
you couldn't make that up.
This is new to me, and I've like gone down the rabbit hole of so much stuff, but this I have not heard before. I'm so...
So what's the question, Gary?
Whoa, okay.
This guy, look how cute he is.
I'm trying to think because
everybody do what was it, Home Alone?
Oh my God. Okay then. Well, the Rosalind Chapel is called the Rosalind Chapel, partly because of the ley line that goes through that, which is called the Rosalind ley line. But also the Rose line is meant to be Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene is the Christ line.
Yes.
All right, so your question is if you're accurate and where you're going, or you got to make this more clear for me.
What I'm asking is...
Hold on.
Is the Rosalind Chapel connected to the Christ line?
Okay, got it. Is a Rosalind Chapel connected to the Christ bloodline?
Bloodline. or we'll call it the rose line, because actually it's the rose line and not the Christ line, but it's the rose line.
Well, I got wishes granted and manifested with the 9 of Cups. That is a yes. Let me see what else I can get. Beloved Faye, beloved Gary, beloved JenniMay. There is something strong. I can feel it in my spine. Next, we do. Okay, sorry, Faye. I try not to wear my glasses, but I can't see.
It's okay.
Off-world energy here. Okay, with the 6 of Cups.
And that links into the fairy energy, doesn't it? Because this is all connected. This is all part of this.
He's got it.
It's a big, massive yes. Okay, whenever we have an alpha, which is there's only 4 aces in 78 cards, that's one of emotion restoration. Look at the dove plunging into the chalice, the Christ chalice.
The chalice is in this reading. The chalice is the Holy Grail.
There, that, yes.
Has to
rock
be.
And roll. Ow! Yes. Moving on. All right, so it's been a long time in the making. I'm going like a long time. So I don't know how long the Knights Templar's been around, or the Q movement, because the Q movement is not just around these it's been around for fight against good in, oh my gosh, heartbeat. There's been a juggle. Left, right, yay, nay, up, down. Then healing off-world energy. We got 2 off-world energies in 6 cards only. Future. Yes, something to celebrate about. Moving on. New day, new dawn, a new direction. High adventures. Ones that are like beautiful, with integrity, with passion. And then we end with Hi Ho Silver to the rescue. I know I usually say that about the Knight of Swords, but they connect the same. 1 swords, it's high, it's good militia. So the answer is yes.
Wow.
Well, because for those of you who can't really place the Rosalind Chapel, the Rosalind Chapel is the one that the Da Vinci Code is based on, the book.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So just so I'll give you some context, because I don't want to go too deep and leave you all behind. So if we think about the Rosalind Chapel, think Da Vinci Code, and I can't remember if it was the first, second, or third film, whichever we did, but that is based around the Rosalind Chapel. Okay. And obviously we all understand the Da Vinci Code is actually probably based on how can I put this? Masonic teachings, because the Rosalind Chapel has got an awful lot of interesting stuff. Now, the Rosalind Chapel has got very interesting pillars. And back in the day, when you went to a library to learn stuff, it wasn't in book form. It was written on the pillars.
The pillars.
Yeah.
Like a tree.
The tree.
Yeah.
The tree of knowledge. That's where we get the tree of knowledge from, because the pillars had the information on.
Oh, wow. Look.
Oh, the flesh of the beast.
Oh my God. You couldn't make that up, could you? How many tattoos do you have to have that match this chat today? I mean, honestly.
Right? I want to ask you a question. I wonder if the Gnostic Chapel in Beechwood Canyon in LA is connected to the Rosalind Chapel, and if it's on a ley line.
Okay,
wow, that's a good question.
But first I want, because I pulled cards while you were talking, Gary.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, no, you didn't read them. Okay.
No, it's fine, Boo Boo Bear. But because now I'm a bit distracted, so I forget how you were phrasing your wording. But it was in regards to
the Da Vinci Code, wasn't it? And Rosalind Chapel. And
so there is the devil here that came in first, about secrets of the universe and fast-moving information coming in.
Via the pillars that we were talking about.
Yes. Then we get the sun, the most happy. The old system, heartbeat, is crashing down with the tower. Foundation is built on sand going into quicksand. Look at everyone falling. Then we do have the empath queen, the queen of cups. New day, new dawn with the page of pentacles. We've been uncomfortable for a very long period of time. We're enlightened, we're aware, we're awakened, and we're all using our inner mystic.
Brilliant. Could you answer JenniMay's question? Because
yeah, now I'm going to go there.
My brain's going at the moment, and I'm putting some cogs together.
With pleasure. Well, of course.
And we can go back to the Rosalind Chapel, because I think I'm trying to remember some very interesting tidbits that could lead on to another very big question I have.
Okay. So, what is your question?
Okay. Is the ancient Gnostic chapel situated on Beechwood Canyon Road in LA connected to the Rosalind Chapel and the ley lines? And for all of this is the chapel on Beechwood Canyon. If anyone has ever been on Beechwood Canyon, and that's the street where there's a Hollywood sign.
I've seen that chapel somewhere before.
All right.
It's powerful.
It's a yes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. The energy at that chapel is insanely powerful.
But like, I don't know. So how it says it's like a new day, a new dawn. So that's a yes. This is a hell yes. But then something is flipping around. So this chapel, what you're asking about in Los Angeles, are you asking from a negative point of view?
No, because originally it was positive. Originally that temple was positive. You can feel the energy there. It's very high energy. It's very beautiful. But
something turned around.
Yes, it did.
The ley line, but yes, because it's Hollywood, it has been corrupted.
Okay, so that's what I'm reading.
Yeah.
It was built positive, hell yes, but something flipped around.
Of course, because of Hollywood bullshit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you showed me the photograph of that, and I actually did a deep dive on that one, because I can remember the photograph, and I've looked into that, and there was something that they, again, another tangent from Gary, that what they do, in chapels and such like, is they record the chapel silently. They then record on top of the recording, and record on top of the recording, and record on top of the recording. And they then put it through some kind of spectral analyzer. They put the resonance through onto a plate that vibrates, and you then get the shape or the Mandela effect, from that. And the chapel you're talking about came up quite foul.
Yes, no, it's been, I feel like it has been corrupted, but originally it was very positive. And in fact, I lived there for 8 years, and I lived on Beechwood Canyon for a while, but basically you can feel really good energy there because it's built on a ley line. But I know that it's been compromised.
It has been compromised.
But if it's turning round, we're now probably going to see the positivity of it.
Yes, because in the now moment, there's truth, disclosure, gossip, innuendo around whatever you said. And now at the heartbeat, it's ongoing healing. And it was in regards to like things that are governmental, governs over your mind with the lovers. But it's the end, the future, the end of that world for a rebirth, a new one. We got good militia. There's my hi-ho, Silver, to the rescue. And then we're going to work at something better. This guy loves carving his pentacles. He's so positive at working. So it came in from my cards. I don't have any idea what you guys are talking about.
No.
But according to the cards, it was created in good, got corrupted, and now there's gossip around it. It's going through a healing, the governmental institution, however that looks. Does it look just like a PM? No, it's more than that. It's all of them, the royals, all those creepy crawlies.
Right.
Dumb
and
elites.
then it's the end of the world, good militia, and we're reworking at something with passion. That's all grueling. That's hey ho, let's work. Woo!
Yeah, I think people are trying to save it to bring it back to the old energy.
Yes, my love.
The pure energy that it was meant to be, so, but like, I think also people were trying to build on it, everything.
I think
knock
so,
it down and
yes.
stuff, yeah.
That's really, really interesting, that, because I think most, how can I put this? Most important buildings are on ley lines. And
Yeah,
I think so, yes.
and particularly cathedrals and such like. And obviously in the past, they were built for the positivity and the well-being of the people and the environment. And then it was taken over.
100%.
Never
100%.
abducted.
Yeah,
exactly.
and now we're seeing the flip-flop of this
Yeah.
and the change from one thing, which was not good, to the more positive, which is why we're now talking about the Faye and the elementals now coming through.
Yeah.
It's all connected. It's all
and
connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah. Now, let me.
I'm gonna leave you with JenniMay for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm going to go on one of my history tangents. Okay. Now, the Rosslyn Chapel, I think, was founded in the 1440 something. I think 1446.
Okay. The time of the witch hunt. Near the time.
The Rosslyn Chapel was, I think, St. Clair comes to mind. Now, the reason why I can always remember St. Clair is
he can hear you, by the way.
He can.
He's
Super.
reading on this. Okay, go ahead.
The reason why St. Clair comes to mind is because there used to be this lady called St. Clair who was on TV, and as a kid in the 70s, I can always remember Isla St. Clair, her name was, but it's actually it could be William St. Clair was involved in this the Rosslyn Chapel. And William St. Clair was involved with Edward I, the king.
Okay.
And I seem to remember when I was looking at the Knights Templar that this William St. Clair, how can I put it? He testified against the Knights Templar.
Oh.
Right. But the Knights Templar were disbanded 100 years or so before the testifying of the Knights Templar. Wow. So I think this Sinclair guy had secrets or something was going on with the Rose bloodline that he was aware of. And even though you can't really say that the Templars were involved with that at the time, from my historical understanding, is when the Templars were, I think it was in 1215 or 12 something, and when the 1210, I don't know, early 1200s anyway, when the Templars were betrayed by the Pope and the French king and tortured for their money because they were the first bankers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They then changed their sigil to the skull and crossbones and became the pirates.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay.
Right, now, I want to bring this back to more modern times.
Okay.
Donald Trump's mother was Scottish.
Okay.
Is Donald Trump of the Rose line bloodline, which has connections with Mary Magdalene and the ley lines and that whole, my arms are going already.
Oh yeah, me too.
You're gonna love because
hold on. He had. Sorry, go ahead.
The cards. I've been listening to you, my great buddy Gary, and I'm just doing my thing, and cards are flipping like popcorn at the cinema.
Yeah, wait until you see what just flipped out twice.
Okay, well,
no. Yeah. So for the clarification of the question, is Donald Trump's bloodline of the Rose bloodline with a connection to the Rosslyn Chapel?
So, yes, I'm going to say yes. First in line, since you felt with the conclusion of your question, I got the Queen of the Swords. So she talks about justice, and she is firm with her boundaries about truth and justice, having the higher ground at war, traveling really fast. Judgment of being bestowed. The trumpet has been trumpeteered, awakening the dead. At the heartbeat, ba-bam, ba-bam. Lots of different topics. Look, I got the 2 fastest cards in everything that you spoke about, the Chariot and the 8 of Wands. Nothing moves faster than a lot of different topics coming here, and then's your Trump.
And twice that popped out.
Okay. And then, yes, happiest card of the tarot deck, rebirth, reincarnation, a fool's new journey, and we're working really happily to restore everything. Yes.
Boom, mic drop.
And so how many cards do we have in the tarot deck again, Richard?
78.
And we get the same few cards coming out
Yes.
every single time.
Yes. I need to...
You couldn't make the odds of that.
I have a new pendulum, which is called Farah. Yay, finally I got a Farah. And I did a video yesterday, Faye, and I'd like to take a moment, just a brief moment, to clarify. Yesterday I was talking about this stone, and I was talking about Farah because he said he wants to be called Farah. Now, then I said that Farah's got a masculine energy. I was talking about the stone, not Farrah Fawcett. This is a stone that feels masculine, but wants to be Farah. That's how, and then Farah agrees. Because the thing is I think that Farrah Fawcett was not very grounded while she was walking the earth. And now she is. Because then I got a lot of comments like, well, masculine, she's a transgender, transvestigation. Farrah Fawcett was born a female. Okay, now that I said that, I may go.
Okay.
So everything that we're talking about is accurate. Look at Farrah. She's like,
that's a strong swing.
Out.
Yeah.
Okay, show me no to show you're not busted. And rock it like you mean it, Farrah. You know, guys, there's no wind. Oh, show me you don't know. Oh, now she got a little shy. She's not as rapid. But she's still giving you the no. All right, so you were accurate in everything you said. I had to have my version of a tangent because Farrah. As you were, my beautiful buddy.
Well, I mean, that's just amazing, isn't it? Isn't that amazing that the Rosalind Chapel is directly connected to Trump's bloodline? And
it
his
is.
mother?
Unbelievable.
Because I got the Trump card here. And I got the sun. There's no bigger yes.
No bigger yes.
And you got the Trump card twice, and that popped out. Actually, it flew out twice.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't really know where to go from there now. I mean, I'm quite happy actually. I'm quite content.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow, we've gone on we started with the Faye and ended up with Donald Trump. I mean, how could you do that in the program?
No, let's go see, like, what does the future look like in regards to disinformation and Donald Trump for humanity?
Bring it all to a conclusion.
No, like, I feel that's...
I'm going to ask as well. Are we happy to ask? Yeah. So
that means it's excited. It likes the
conversation. It's excited. It's happy. Right. So
it's got a hard on.
Have we got a very good outcome coming? Look at that. Come on. Swing like you mean it. There we go. We have an amazing outcome from this. Is there any way that I am wrong? Is there any way that we're wrong? Is there any way that we're wrong? Is there any way that we're wrong in any way, shape, or form? Now look at that. No, we're not wrong. So let's see what the cards say.
Whoa! There's a lot coming down, guys. Again, the same culprit. So
Wow.
in regards to the results of our last question conversation, we are juggling left, right, yay, nay, up, down. We got the good militia, Hi-Ho Silver, coming to the rescue. I call them the white hats. A whole tower's coming down. That's an institution.
Super.
Look at them like, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, I'm going to smash my teeth and be toothless when I hit the pavement. Good for you. There's going to be some sadness. The heartbeat is, come on, get in my nails. The devil system that has been chaining us up. Then we go into healing, permanent, ongoing healing. Future. Some people are going to be stuck, blind. They don't know what they see. A new day, a new dawn with a page of pentacles. And then another Hi-Ho Silver to the rescue. Clarifying governments. Use your intuition. Be the inner mystic. And we're going to rework at recalibrating and create our new world, our new day, our new dawn, the golden era. Because that, look, guys, is not going to be, hold on, please hold. It's not going to be necessarily about governments that are going to create our new freedom.
We are.
We're going to get the shackles.
We the people.
We're going to get the shackles removed. Okay, off-world energy. The white hats are helping. But this love, okay, it's up to us to create.
Yes.
Use your passion, your inner child. Your inner child is what keeps you young and alive. Like Gary said in the last, your latest video with Mario, which is called the title. Platonic.
Yeah, it's Platonic Planes, and it's our part 2 to toroidal fields, the Metatron's cube, and all that sort of stuff. It's quite a deep one. It's a very good one.
Because you got, okay, this thing of the flower of life, it's a flower of death.
Yes, it is.
Wake up. Okay, when I say wake up, no harm, no foul. But I did not know, and I have one of my great friends who had it all done as a tattoo in like, oh my God, you just did the flower of death onto you.
That's like the message.
No, wait, I'm not finised. Yeah. So, because now, like, it's higher. I'm so sorry.
No.
It's channeling.
And,
no, I get it.
There's so much. There's so much, guys. So,
you were talking about your friend that has a tattoo of the flower of
life.
But
there was a reason why I was talking about him.
Because it's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not. Okay, so, we are going into, like, I totally lost it, but we are in.
Sorry, baby.
we are into great moments.
Yes.
The end.
No,
that's all, folks.
On my channel, what we're talking about is quite a deep subject, and it took me nearly 3 years to get my head around it fully.
Yes.
So it's you know, I don't expect anybody to pick this kind of stuff up quickly, because it really is not. But what Richard was saying fundamentally is there's two different energy forces in this realm.
Yes.
One is called the Chris Code, which is Gaya.
Yes.
And one is the Fibonacci sequence, which is our control mechanism.
Yes. That's okay, because I was talking about your video with Mario. Okay, I'm back now online. Which is death, basically. It's rot, death, stop existing. Okay, because a tutorial field is like always recharging like a selenite crystal. That's our true essence.
Yes.
And the other one is suck you back in, recharge you, beautiful battery. Thank you for joining us. And it will make you forget everything you ever known. You poor little, bang, there you go. Oh, bye, idiots.
Yeah.
It's an old program.
Yeah. It's so old.
Yeah, it's not the truth program.
No, it's not. And
it's not even
part of the
program.
inversion. This realm is an inversion. Often everything they tell you on the everything they tell you on the tell lies in vision. Tell eye vision.
Yes.
Tell
Pt2,
lies in vision is an inversion of the truth often. So whatever they tell you, it's normally the opposite is actually happening.
And you know, there is a world in back of a mirror.
Yeah.
I felt several times, Fanny, whether I'm doing my gym in the basement, there's a few mirrors so I can look at myself. And I felt, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There is someone staring at me from behind that wall or world, or it is inversion. The mirrors, look, we all have an iPad. We all have like
this
something
is
with a black screen.
This is a scrying mirror. This is the black scrying mirror
Yes.
of the 1800s. We have paintings of round black scrying mirrors. They had something like this back then, and they did not come to a good end. And this is a black scrying mirror.
So it's like the show, The Black Mirror. Like it's a similar thing, right? Like,
I never watched that show because I felt it was so demonically
no, it
attached.
is. It is every episode. Like it shows like
Plus
some weird shit.
Miley Cyrus played in that as if I'm gonna watch
it's very dark. Yeah. But it's called Black Mirror, and it's like, so
truth and disclosure, I guess, in the end, right?
So
now, as a tangent,
the mirrors, I was looking in my mirror, and there was a knock on the other side.
Yeah.
This happened to me recently.
You heard it?
Yes.
See?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. I freaked out.
So what does that mean?
Go ahead, Gary. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. As a side note, we have one mirror in our bedroom, and we weren't sleeping very well. We haven't been anyway, but we covered the mirror up, and that mirror is constantly covered up unless it's needed. And the energy in the room changed, and it changed for the better. So my advice to everybody, if you have a mirror, when you're not using it, you cover it over.
Or a mirror in front of your bed, because when you go to bed, you leave your avatar and you travel.
Potentially, but I don't trust mirrors.
Okay, well, you would suck in my house. There's so many mirrors here. Not in front of my bed, but well, I am a hairdresser too,
of course,
right? So,
of course.
There's that.
But I'm just saying the energy changed in our room when we covered the mirror up.
But was the mirror in front of the bed?
It's to the side.
Oh, there should never be a mirror like to the side or in the front.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, that brings me back to Stranger Things, the upside down.
Yeah. The inversion. Yeah.
Inversion.
And that actually, Stranger Things as a tangent is actually based on truth.
CIA, mind control.
And MK
done in Montreal City, by the way.
Yeah.
My homeland. Yay, me!
But on the
I try not to swear, I'm so sorry.
on the they didn't catch it because I was over speaking you, that's fine. On Stranger Things, the first series, the guy who was in charge of the program was called Papa, wasn't he?
Yes, I couldn't stand him.
Do you know who he was?
Oh, tell me. AI? No.
Worse than that, Bush Senior.
Ew.
I feel it. I'm feeling it. You got a connection. I'm doing it, guys.
Because again, we're talking about energy and the misuse of energy from ley lines and mystical beings and such like, and they were using that, and they were using children to break into these dimensions or these realms that they had no business playing with.
That makes a lot
I don't
of
want to
sense.
get dark. I don't want to get dark.
Children is a battery. There's nothing that is more connected to source creation. Okay? These creeps have got to be exploded. Well, they are.
They're
gone.
Or else we would not be awakening.
It's happening as we speak, yeah.
But I don't like to not use the I hate them. that energy. That's the only way I will use that word.
So
they've created outer conflict. These three, everything has flip-flopped. Demonic's now at the bottom, angelic's at the top. We've been uncomfortable for such a long period of time. We get it. They created inner conflict with our minds. They've created heartbreak, sorrow, depression, but everything is moving really rapidly with the chariot. And then we got the higher ground at war, babies. Hi ho, Silver, to the rescue! Woo! And then we're crossing a portal.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
So from the beginning energy of your card reading, Papa was Bush Senior.
Yes.
Ew.
Yes. Truth in disclosure. And see, I don't know even a lot about, I never listened to politics until Donald Trump came in. And that for me, that's my story, my story alone, people. But I did not know Donald Trump as what was his show? You're a winner, you're a loser.
Is it The Apprentice or something?
Yeah, I never watched it.
No.
But I know that when he came online, like everyone hated him. And I said, like, okay, does this make no sense? I need to research why this man is hated. And then I deep dived, and then I loved him. And then I started looking into politics for the first time in my life. But he's not even into politics. He's there to destroy politics. What is a politic? Many parasites.
Parasites, yes, it certainly is.
That give you this heartache, sorrow. You are disconnected. It's the end of that. It's a new day, a new dawn. Everyone, Mel Gibson, freedom!
Well, you know what government means, don't you? You know what the word government means, don't you?
Govern your mind.
Yeah,
correct. So the many parasites govern your mind.
Yeah. No way.
Well, yes, you knew that.
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying no way. We're not going to let them govern our mind.
Yeah. No way.
Remember, I told you when I was a teenager, I read Donald Trump's book.
You did.
Yes,
she loves to read.
For some reason,
I don't.
I was like
attracted,
drawn to.
Well,
Donald
you were
Trump,
sexually
like,
attracted.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. No, it wasn't that.
Maybe I don't know.
No,
he was very good looking.
I wasn't that. I was like much of a reader. I studied English literature. Actually, I went to university for English literature.
Good looking,
Carleton
intelligent.
University. And I love books, and like I don't like reading as much as I used to, but I read his book. It was like done in the late 90s, I believe, but I was very interested in his story for some reason.
I think you were interested to bring you up to today.
Yeah,
like past comes to present.
Yeah, there was something about this figure, that was like very interesting.
Because there's no way I'm gonna read a book like that book. Like I don't.
Nor me. Well, guys.
I just love him as he is.
We've been on, I think, for just over an hour, and I think it's long enough for everybody to watch. So that's been an amazing journey today, hasn't it? I mean, oh my God, twists and turns. Twists and turns.
I know, so many things that we covered.
So I'm just going to give a quick plug to my channel, because what we're talking about with the Fibonacci and all the bits and pieces, although I did a very deep dive with Platonic Planes and Maten recently, and that was a part 2, on my channel I actually have a beginner's guide to what we're trying to explain. And I've got several beginners, like softer introductions into these concepts. So alternative interactions, you can find the beginning of the Fibonacci and the Chris code definitions and all the stuff there. And I, because it's very difficult to get your head round. So, yeah, that's it really from me. And please like, share and subscribe for Richard and myself. And I think
JenniMay
and JenniMay, of course, because JenniMay's got an amazing channel where she what you do crystals and healing and all sorts
I
of stuff,
do
don't you?
sound therapy with crystals. So yeah, thank you. And you guys, both of these guys have amazing channels too. So please enjoy them as I do. And yeah, what a great talk, you guys.
And
And what we will,
we'll be on your next show on Platonic Plays.
yeah, we on Friday, we
This Friday coming up.
yeah, this Friday coming up, we intend to do, because Maten is a brilliant astrologer.
He's
But he's also
awesome, and he
Oh, I
loves
can't wait to watch
heavy
it.
metal.
he
Yay!
does love his heavy metal, but he's also amazing at human design and linking the two together with the planetary movements and how potentially that will affect you in the coming month.
I can't
And-
wait to meet him, man. Like, I've
Well-
watched your videos, Gary, and it's a whole different like, we have something amazing. I love what we have, but it's a different
gonna be
ball
cool
game,
then.
like with Mario, and I'm
Yay.
really looking forward to having him as my brother, like you are my brother.
Superb. But that's going to be a very special show, because what we're going to do is we're going to get Maten to do Mario Maten to do look into the month coming up, and we're going to get Richard to pull the cards on that to see
I'll do
what
cards.
Richard feels instinctively moving forward. And so that's going to be
I
a
love it.
very different show, but one that I think you're going to get a lot out of.
It's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Superb. So with that, everybody, thank you very much. Love and blessings.
Thank you. So much love to everyone.
Be
And-
good, be kind to yourselves, and we love you. Rock and roll.
Bye, everyone.
Woo!